when I'm fishing from the bank here, like I'm going to do a lot of fan casting, but one of my first casts is always going to be down the bank, parallel to the shoreline, especially when it's warming conditions. When it's warming conditions, the fish are going to have a tendency to really be looking towards that bank, because that's where the water's going to be warming first. That's where the bait fish are going to be present. So we're going to want to first make our cast up towards the bank. And you're going to want to clean those baits. Like I got a lot of moss on that one, right? You see that a lot in the early season like we have right now. You're going to get a lot of moss, and you want to clear those hooks, because a bass will not bite a bait that's all mossed up. And what I'm trying to do is, I can see a little rock outcropping in front of me down the bank. So I'm trying to get my bait as close to that as I can. I'm using a little stop and go retrieve. And you'll see, if you watch my hands here, you'll see there's a steady retrieve with my rod tip down. That's going to get the bait down to its maximum depth. So I'm going to get all the way down to 4 feet here. And if I raise my rod tip up, I can run the same bait in less than 2 feet of water, and I can keep it real shallow. So by using my rod, I can control the depth of this bait. The retrieves are, this is a 6.8 to 1, and I'm using a medium retrieve here. I can experiment with burning retrieves. I can experiment with stop and goes, and all those can be really good triggers with your crankbait. But this is a bait that you're going to be, with the exception of the stopping on the stop and go, you're steady. This bait's always on the move. It may hesitate for an instant, but you're constantly moving this bait to trigger the strikes. As I get some moss on there. So I'm going to fan cast. Oh, I'm a little shallow there. I'm going to come way up into the shallows. And I can feel it banging off the rocks. Man, I'm just banging away on those rocks. That's what you want to feel. That's what you want to feel. That's going to really help you get some of those fish to bite. When you're trying, what we call a deflection strike. Man, boom, boom. You might be able to even see my rod there. I think I've hung up on the grass. But there's a lot of moss. So I'm going to want to deflect and keep it coming. One of the important things is not to set the hook when you're bumping the cover. A lot of times when you're bumping that cover, man, it feels just like a strike. But you got to just keep that bait coming. And what you'll actually feel is you'll feel it stop bumping and stop vibrating. And that's when you know you have a strike. So that's a little crankbait. It's a little brat. It's in the Rapala series. It's in the square bill category. When you're learning how to crank, take these little baits in a crawfish or a shad pattern, get around there, bump the cover. It'll be surprise you at how well they come through the cover, and it'll really surprise you how well the fish will eat it. But this is a great place to start learning how to crank. As you advance, right? I want you to dive into the square bill seminars that we have on Bass University that are some of the best square bill anglers in the world, including Greg Hackney, are all teaching about how to use that square bill bait to catch fish in a variety of conditions. And then we have the deep dives in the deep cranking. Cole Sands just gave a great seminar on deep diving crankbaits, and we've got the best anglers in the world, including KVD's crankbait series at Bass University. When you're ready to move up to the next step, go check those out. But get yourself some square bills, get out there, have some fun cranking.